Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, the author of 7 Sea Level Rise Real Estate Questions for Buyers, Sellers, Owners, and Real Estate Agents, and the founder of SeaLevelRiseRealEstate.com, which provides updated information between annual editions of this book. And I'm here to talk politics. Don't touch that button. Don't leave. I'm here to talk politics because sea level rise, global warming, and climate change are all going to be heavily impacted by how we vote this year. This episode was made in October of 2020, and we have an awful lot of politicians running for national and state and even local offices who are either paying attention to the impacts of climate change, global warming, and sea level rise, or they're not. And truth be told, we can't afford any more politicians who don't take up climate change and solutions as a cause, and finding solutions as a cause. The fact is, as you can see behind me, sea level rise is already here. Our coastal communities are already flooding. In addition, climate change is causing wildfires in California and up and down the west and Pacific coast, and pretty much globally actually. You're going to find them in Alaska too, and even up in Siberia. So obviously something's going on, and that something is very dangerous, and it involves climate change. Basically, the energy from the sun is coming into our atmosphere. It can't escape back out, just like in a greenhouse, so the atmosphere is warming up. As it warms up, the oceans are warming up, the air is warming up, the land's warming up, the weather's changing, and we have a big problem on our hands. And literally, this election is going to have a huge impact on the future. So all I'm asking you to do is go through the list of candidates and find out where they stand on climate change. Climate change is impacting us right now and is absolutely going to slam our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. They're going to live in a very different world. And to me, climate change is a slow-motion COVID-19. It's basically a situation where we know the science, we know the solutions, and we either grab onto it or we don't. In the case of COVID, we haven't done a great job in the United States. Basically, we know that to control it, people need to wear masks, they need to socially distance, they need to avoid enclosed places, crowded spaces, and close contact. That keeps the virus from spreading from person to person. In the case of sea level rise, climate change, and global warming, what we know is we need to really reduce the amount of fossil fuels that we're burning. The last 4 years, we've had an administration and a Senate that has really put the blinders on about climate change, to our detriment and to the detriment of the future, because it's a slow-motion COVID. If you pretend it's not there and you only take these half-hearted measures to control it, it's going to get worse and worse. And global warming already is. Look, we already have flooding up and down our coastline to a cost to communities of flooded properties, infrastructure is getting flooded, the expense of raising seawalls and protecting infrastructure is already running into the hundreds of millions of dollars. In fact, down in Miami, that's pretty much, they've spent $400 million and they're just getting started. Here in my town, the estimate is almost $400 million, and we're a little city. I mean, just a little city. And we need to raise roads, we need to raise seawalls, we need to lift up critical infrastructure like sewer water systems. We got a lot of work to do, and this is just one town. So either we can make the investment right now, and elect people who recognize the problem that climate change is posing to us all, or we can bury our hands in the sand for another 4 years and suffer the worsening consequences. The choice is ours. Just like with COVID, we had a choice of putting on a mask and socially distancing, and too many people didn't do it, and it's going to run rampant. It's going to run rampant this fall and winter. That's science. And science is behind climate change, global warming, and sea level rise, and We know what the science is. Now it's up to us to decide how to respond to it. So I'm done. Okay, I hope you hung in there for my political speech, and I'll see you in the next episode.